Welcome to part 3 of my Acoustics course. I'm John Hunter from John Hunter Acoustics. I'm the owner, founder, CEO, product architect, and acoustical consultant for John Hunter Acoustics, where we've been treating spaces of every shape and size, including studios, rehearsal spaces, restaurants, cathedrals, churches, auditoriums, you name it. We've treated it over the last 15 years, and I'm going to get into the placement of panels. So if you have a room, for instance, you have a room here, where do you want to start? This is a studio, for instance, so you want to start with treating your corners. So you can use triangle bass traps, or you can use another version would be, angle panels into corners, like 4-inch. Or 8-inch for sub-low absorption. For typical 6-inch and 8-inch woofers, you have 10-inch woofers, or you're mixing with a sub, then start with your, treating your corners. So these are just triangle bass traps. And these are actually good sub-low absorbers with our version. It's fully filled rock wool, filling up a triangle, filling up that whole corner. So triangle or 8-inch. So we'll just put 8-inch here. Start with your corners, do a triangle on each side. So that's the first place, number 1, for bass absorption, for evening out the low end. So start with your triangle bass traps. Next most important area, I would say, is going to be your first reflection points. And these want to actually be spaced off the wall in rooms of every shape and size. So, you can do 4-inch or 6-inch. If you have room with a lot of space in it, 6-inch is more advantageous, absorbs about 10% more of the low end. So 4-inch or 6-inch, do both sides, obviously. So, and where is the first reflection point? It's if you're the listener and you're here, and then you have your monitors here. First reflection is the midpoint between your ear and your monitor. It absorbs this reflection. The first reflection is here. It's it goes at a right angle towards your ears, and it's one of the biggest contributors to cancellation or amplification of sound. So that's first reflections. So start triangles, first reflections. Next would be side reflections. So typically you want a side reflection to be off the wall as well. If your room is 11 feet wide or so, you want to be off the wall with your side reflections. So I'm just going to, right here, first, that's your first reflection. This is your side reflection. Why side? Because it's directly to your side. So first reflection is not next to your ear, it's between your speaker and your ear. So 11-foot room, side reflections off the wall, 11, 12 wider. Have them both off the wall. And that's the next most important area. So triangle first and side reflections. Now you're going to need a cloud. So you want to cover the full width of your speaker with your cloud. That's the next place to cover. You want to make sure that the front of your speaker all the way over your head is covered. Typically a 4x6 cloud is a good option. Speakers don't usually end up being wider than 6 feet. A 4x6 cloud is a great option to cover left to right, and you want to cover the full left to right width of your speakers, and that's the front of your speakers. So outer corner to outer corner of the front of your speakers. Start at the front of your speaker, going over your head. Make sure your head is covered. If this is wider than 6 feet, or you're further back than 6 feet, you can use double clouds. Like say your ear is here, then everything's going to shift. Your first reflections and side reflections. But then also your cloud, you need a double cloud, for instance. Like say, you're not usually going to be 8 feet back, but if you are, 2 4x6s would work. Cover your head if you're further back, or if you're 6 feet back, to cover the width of your speakers and from the front of your speakers to the back. So again, triangle, first reflections, side reflections, then cloud. That would be the order of importance of panels. Next, beyond that, you would treat either the back of the room with a couple panels to absorb the reflection off the back wall, and take 4-inch panels or 6-inch panels. if your room is wider. And then after that, you would treat the front behind your speakers with a gap to absorb that reflection off that wall. So that would be the order. So triangle, first reflection, side reflections, cloud, back wall panels for this reflection, and then the front wall. So if you only have the choice of either the front or the back, go for the back. If you can only treat one or the other, just treat one or the other, and that's going to help out. So further back in the room, this is more for just echo reduction. You can just do panels flat on the wall typically, unless this is like a Dolby Atmos or 5.1 surround sound, any kind of surround sound system. These would also be off the wall because you have sound coming from every direction. You need it more balanced throughout the entire room. So that's the layout and order of importance of panels. And there are other factors, so the best thing to do is actually set up a consultation with us where I guide you one-on-one based on your room, your dimensions, and we suggest what thickness of the panel, what type of material, and we take it from there. So this is a typical layout, order of importance of panels. If you want to order them yourself, that's what I would do, and consider that, like say you can't do a whole room package, but you have the budget just to do some areas. Start with your corners, first reflection, side reflections, back wall, front wall, and then added panels more towards the back of the room for additional echo absorption. So we'll see you in the next video, part 4. Looking forward to it. Like, subscribe, add comments. Let us know if there's anything else you like covered, and we can perhaps make another video on that. We'll see you in the next one.